Hello and welcome to our very impromptu live with Butterfly Conservation here at Birdfair at the lovely, gorgeous Rutland. And you can see Rutland stretching out behind us, which is absolutely beautiful. And a lovely sunny day. It's clouded over a little bit now, so it's dropped a little bit cooler for us, which is absolutely fine because it's been a pretty boiling weekend, hasn't it? So my name's Indy. I live in Nottinghamshire in Sherwood Forest, very passionate about the environment, and I'm very lucky to be one of Butterfly Conservation's ambassadors. But it's not just me, obviously, here. So I'm here with Rebecca. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Rebecca and I live in Warwickshire, and I also have a butterfly farm in my back garden where I help to protect and boost the population of butterflies.
Not bad. And Ajay.
I'm Ajay. I'm based in Cambridgeshire, where I work as a ranger. I love all winged creatures, and I'm proud to be an ambassador for butterfly conservation.
Super. So, very excitingly, last night we did a moth trap on site, which was a very good night for a lovely clear night. Very nice and warm, very little wind, very good conditions for a moth trap. So we'll just run you through some of the species that we've seen and talk a bit about some exciting news coming up as well. So what have we got first?
So in here is an old lady moth, which the caterpillars feed on blackthorn, and it's said to be called the old lady moth because the pattern on its wings resemble that of an old lady's shawl. How cool is that?
That is absolutely gorgeous. Look at just the size of it. I'm really surprised by. Like, when you imagine moths like that, you only think of maybe, I don't know, our hawk moths being that kind of size. But old lady moth, isn't it? I mean, the patterns are just gorgeous, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And the size of it is ginormous compared to other moths, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is really stunning. So there we are, old lady moth, and it's got a lovely big pot there for its size, keeping it nice and happy there. But we've all got plenty of moths, so I will run you through one of mine, and it's a moth I haven't actually seen for quite a long time. So I'm very excited that we've caught one, and it is one of the best. It is the elephant hawk moth, absolute stunner. And let me see. Oh, the colours. You can look any direction. That lovely lime green and the gorgeous pink. And again, a really nice size. And they get their name elephant hawk moth because their caterpillar resembles an elephant's trunk, and it really does. A food plant for the caterpillar is rosebay willowherb. And you often see the caterpillars around this time of year, sometimes into August as well, feeding on the willowherb. And as they get older, I often see them move higher up the stems. And I've only ever seen one caterpillar before, and I remember seeing it. It was in the wind, and it just looked like an extra kind of growth on top of the willowherb. It was just absolutely massive. And I don't know what you think, Ajay. I think the hawk moths in particular are one of those species where the caterpillars are just as gorgeous as the moths, because often you can get like a really gorgeous caterpillar and then the moth's a bit drab. But with hawk moths, it's just... they're both amazing, aren't they?
They are. They're both fantastic and, unmistakable. Really special.
Really is. What have you got for us?
Well, I've got this moth here, which is a peppered moth. And you can see it there. This is also known as Darwin's moth. It's a great example of evolution. I remember learning about it in school because this is quite a pale moth with just dark specks on it. And that's because it's camouflaged when it lands on lichen on trees. But there's also a dark version of this moth, which stands out much more when it's on lichen and therefore much more likely to be predated by birds, for example. However, back in the 19th century, when the Industrial Revolution was going on, there was lots of coal, lots of fires, lots of black smog around, and therefore these whiter, lighter forms stood out more, and they were more vulnerable to predation, and so there was an increase in the darker ones, the darker form. But now, following Clean Air Acts and a change in sort of cleaning up of the air, it's gone back to a situation now where there's more of the whiter, lighter forms, because the trees are much lighter again now, the lichen is more prevalent, the air is cleaner, thank goodness, and so therefore we see more of these ones. But I also have another moth.
Oh, go on.
This is one of my favourites. This is a lovely moth, quite a chunky one. This is called a drinker, and we're talking about the caterpillars as well. And the name drinker comes because the caterpillars of this moth, the drinker moth, are said to, they spend a lot of time on grass, and they're said to drink dew, the morning dew. They drink it off the grass. So that's where the name of this moth comes from.
What a stunner that is. I love the little snout as well. It's such a funny looking little moth. It just doesn't look like a moth. It's just absolutely stunning and lovely, kind of a lovely shade of brown. There's a couple of species like this, isn't there? I think there's a couple of drinkers, and then there's oak egger moth that looks fairly similar.
That's right.
Well.
Yeah, the oak egger. Yes. Yeah.
No, they're very kind of fluffy, aren't they? Really lovely moths. But yeah, the peppered moths, going back to those, have you ever seen one of the darker versions?
I haven't actually. No, have you?
No, I've never. I've only seen pictures, but they're just absolutely. I think that's, again, like you said, one of the best examples of evolution that we've seen. Definitely like in recent years, and it's one that is like very easy to explain, very easy to show, and then obviously with the dark and the pale version. So no, very lucky to have caught one of those. But we've got another one, don't you? Have another? You have another moth to show. You don't have another moth. That's me then. So I have the magpie moth. Where is it? There it is. Again, a beautiful little moth. And you can see these out in the daytime and the nighttime. So I was, I'm a guide on the west coast of Scotland, and we were walking on the Isle of Harris a couple of weeks ago. And I remember it was just a little kind of sheep track along the shoreline. And I remember I saw one of these, and then 5 minutes later, there's another one. And then just for the rest of the walk, just seeing these lovely little magpie moths all the way along, just stood on top of heather stems, nice and proud. And really lovely colorations and a lovely kind of yellow abdomen. I'm not sure if you can see that there. Really quite pretty. So yeah, like I said, not all moths are, of course, night flying. Plenty in the day as well. So these are one of those wonderful ones that we can enjoy. There we are. There's our moths. How about that?
Yeah. I've always loved seeing what's in the moth trap, and always loved being at Birdfair.
Yeah.
We've all had a great time here. But of course, next week is the start of the big butterfly count.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got to ask Rebecca, what's your favourite butterfly that you're hoping to see?
Well, the butterfly I'm hoping to see is obviously the peacock, because it's my favourite butterfly, because it has the most amazing defences. Like, it can hiss like a snake by just vibrating its wings to scare off its predators, like when it's scared. How cool is that? Like, it's amazing.
It's absolutely amazing. Have you ever seen that before?
Yes, I've raised them in my butterfly farm plenty of times. It's so cool, honestly.
That's so good. So tell me a bit more about your butterfly farm. And I'd love to come and visit one day. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, so basically, we find the eggs on the food plant, and then we put the food plant in a pot, and then bring it into my shed, which is the butterfly farm, and we raise the caterpillars or eggs until they're through their life cycle until they've grown into butterflies and hatched out, and then we release them into the wild to help with the population.
That's so good. How long have you been doing that for now?
Oh, about 8 years now? Since I was 6.
That is very cool. I'd hope. Well, I want to do that. I did it once, I think, and I think it might have been peacocks as well. Reared them in the living room and then released them, and it's a really. I mean, the whole process is just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'll ask you as well, Ajay. Is there anything you are looking forward to seeing on the count?
Yeah, I always look forward to seeing wool browns, because there's not many around, but I'm proud to say that we do get them in our garden sometimes. And so, yeah, when I'm doing the big butterfly count, I'm always hoping that I'm going to see a wool brown.
That is a very good choice. I wasn't expecting that. That's a very good choice. Well, so that's back home in the Fens, isn't it, that you see them there?
That's right. That's in Cambridgeshire, and unfortunately, they're not very common in Cambridgeshire. But there's a small population in the kind of the Cambridgeshire-Norfolk edge where I'm based. So we're very lucky to see them there.
Am I right in saying Fabian behind the camera is probably going to correct me in a minute? But is there swallowtails in Norfolk as well?
There is in Norfolk, yes. Yeah, they used to be in Cambridgeshire, but they've disappeared from there. But they are in Norfolk, yes. But they're only in the Broads. They only breed in the Norfolk Broads. I'm a little bit far away, so if I got a swallowtail in the garden, I'd be ecstatic. It might happen one day, but not expecting it anytime soon, sadly.
Well, that's something, Rebecca, you could sort that out, couldn't you, in the butterfly farm? Supply Ajay with a couple of swallowtails. That's definitely something we could arrange. So yeah, as we've been hinting, the big butterfly count with butterfly conservation is coming up, so please take part. It starts on Friday the 18th of July and continues until Sunday the 10th of August. Now, you can download the free app or anything online. Have we got a butterfly behind? Oh, we do have a couple here. Yeah. Speaking of the devils, there's a couple of gatekeepers over that way. They're enjoying the sunshine.
As well, I think.
Commas around. Look at that. Hopefully you see them bouncing over the meadow just here. But yeah, it's very easy to take part. All it requires is 15 minutes of your time in a sunny space. Could be your garden, could be a local nature reserve, could be anywhere. And all you need to do is count the number of butterflies you see and the species. So please take part. Big butterfly count. Green woodpecker. Hello. Oh, is that it? Oh, no, it's blackbird. 18th of July to the 10th of August. So please take part on the app or on the website. Thank you very much for joining, and hope you enjoyed a brief look at our lovely moths. And here, butterfly, look at that, straight across us. And for those of you at Birdfair, really hope you enjoyed that as well and got the chance to see the butterfly conservation stand, a brilliant stand, as always. So thank you very much. Any last bits of advice for people taking part?
Plant food plants and pollinator plants for butterflies.
Good stuff. Anything from you, Ajay?
Well, we're all scientists. We don't have to wear white lab coats. We can get out there and do our part, and it's a rescue mission for butterflies. We really need this data. We need everyone to take part. So, yeah, everybody should get involved.
Exactly. Very easy to do. Loads of ID charts online, including T-shirts to help you along the way, finding your way with IDing butterflies if you are a bit unsure. So, yeah, please take part. Citizen science. It's a really wonderful thing to do. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a lovely evening. Bye.